the president showed up, and it wasn't what I was expecting.
You know, this guy's sitting across from me on that tarmac, and he keeps looking at his watch.
Biden did not want to be there. I don't know what he wanted to do, but he did not want to be there. He looked at his watch multiple times. I saw it 3 times.
Kamala Harris is currently embroiled in what may have been one of the biggest blunders in modern political history. 40 years ago, this is absolutely something that would have ended a presidential campaign. This is her Dukakis in the tank moment. Now, that said, I understand that politics have changed and not as many people care. The media is certainly not covering this the way they should, but I will say objectively, I still don't think it is exactly good politics to wage war against Gold Star families, right? The families of people who died in service to our country. Yet that is exactly what Kamala HQ is caught up in after this weekend. She tried to take a cheap shot at Donald Trump for actually visiting the families and the grave sites of the fallen 13 in the Afghanistan withdrawal that, by the way, was botched by Joe Biden. And the response from the Trump team completely ended her. So folks, if you enjoy the content, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you are new. But this is essentially what she said in reaction. So she said, first of all, as vice president, I have had the privilege of visiting Arlington National Cemetery several times. It is a solemn place, a place where we come together to honor American heroes who have made the ultimate sacrifice in service of this nation. It is not a place for politics. Now keep that in mind as she goes out and says this and a lot of other things, but let's keep reading. And yet, as reported this week, Donald Trump's team chose to film a video there, resulting in an altercation with cemetery staff. Let me be clear, the former president disrespected sacred grounds, all for the sake of a political stunt. Oh yeah, that's very interesting considering the behavior of both Joe Biden and Kamala Harris in regards to the 13 that, by the way, their failed leadership objectively got killed in Afghanistan. But anyways, this is nothing new from Donald Trump. This is a man who has called our fallen service members suckers and losers and disparaged Medal of Honor recipients, which, by the way, is not true, but whatever. Okay, I guess the truth is not an important currency anymore. But she goes on to say, if there is one thing on which we as Americans can all agree, it is that our veterans, military families, and service members should be honored and never disparaged and never treated with nothing less than our highest respect and gratitude. And that is a very interesting and ironic statement when you are about to hear the response of the very families of the fallen service members in Afghanistan to Kamala Harris. But she goes on, and it is my belief that someone who cannot meet this simple sacred duty should never again stand behind the seal of president. I will always honor the service and sacrifice of all of America's fallen heroes who made the ultimate sacrifice on behalf of our beloved nation and our cherished freedoms. I mourn them and salute them, and I will never politicize them. Which, once again, really, you always will honor that service? Well, I don't see you even saying the names of the Afghanistan fallen soldiers. But again, this tweet may go down as like top 10 moments before disaster, because immediately in response, the actual family members, exactly 8 of them, had something to say about this, and they went off tearing into Kamala Harris, and the Trump team released just some of those videos of their responses to her. So check it out.
Kamala, your statement is nothing more than a political spin to help you look better in your presidential campaign against Donald Trump. You have never walked a single day in our shoes. Our kids were murdered because of your administration, and you are partly to blame for that as well. What happened at Arlington was President Trump was invited by those families who have their soldiers buried at Arlington. They were invited there as a friend, as somebody who has taken the time numerous times on numerous occasions to hear our stories, to speak our kids' names, and to help us get some accountability from your administration because in over 3 years, we have gotten nothing but more and more lies. Just like your statement, more and more spun lies and cover-ups to make you and your administration look good. But there is one thing that you said in your statement that was true. No one should be running for president if they cannot honor military members, their families, as well as veterans. So I guess that means that you should step down, Kamala.
It's just absolutely brutal from a political perspective to try to make that performative statement about Trump actually honoring the fallen in Afghanistan, and of course the very Gold Star families just tearing you apart for it. And let me just say, in general, I don't exactly think that Afghanistan is the hill that neither Biden nor Kamala want to die on, because not only did they botch the withdrawal, they botched the entire optics of the situation. You had Biden checking his watch during the ceremony. They won't even say the names of these fallen soldiers, and that is exactly why the Trump team saw the opportunity. But I think it's also just genuinely important here to make a little mini documentary responding to Kamala Harris, and I once again will say it is completely brutal. It tells the story, but it also features the testimony of the very parents of these fallen soldiers. It's just not a good look for Kamala. Again, this is her Dukakis in the tank moment. Arguably, it's a lot worse, so let's play this in full. Check it out.
I'm Jim McCollum. I'm the father of Marine Lance Corporal Riley James McCollum, and I'm here to speak for him.
My name's Alicia Lopez.
I'm Herman Lopez, and we're the parents of our son, Hunter Lopez, a U.S. Marine stationed in Camp Pendleton, San Diego, California, who passed away on August 26, 2021 in Kabul, Afghanistan.
My name is Abby Sanchez, and I am the voice for my brother, Corporal Humberto Sanchez.
My name is Coro Braceno, and I am Corporal Humberto Sanchez's mother.
My name is Stephen Nakui. I'm here for my son, Kareem Nakui. I'm here today to give my son a voice.
My name is Cheryl Jules. I am Sergeant Nicole G's aunt. She was a U.S. Marine that was killed in the Kabul, Afghanistan withdrawal.
My name is Christy Shamblin, and I'm here for Sergeant Nicole G., United States Marine, who was killed in the Afghanistan exit.
My name is Kelly Barnett. I'm here to give a voice to my son, my best friend, Staff Sergeant Taylor Hoover.
And my name's Darren Hoover, and I'm here to give voice as well for our son, Staff Sergeant Taylor Hoover.
Again, Kamala, you have these many. It's basically all. If I don't fact check me there, maybe there's one that just doesn't want to get involved in this, but almost every single one of the families of the killed soldiers in Afghanistan are all publicly coming out against you. How about you just shut your mouth? You know, like, you didn't have to say anything. You could have just kind of ignored it, not gotten involved. But like, it is just such a bad look for you when you go out and say Trump is politicizing this. Every single Gold Star family from the situation is coming out and saying, we're with Trump. You suck. Like, you did not do anything about this. You're horrible. We don't want you in office. But they're really on my side. Well, I guess when you have a VP that is guilty of stolen valor, then it perfectly makes sense, doesn't it?
When we started hearing that the Taliban was moving in, that there wasn't more military being deployed, and that they had decided that the Taliban was our security, that was when I became terrified. They were just kind of left there, hung out to dry.
Flowing from Afghanistan, where there are significant casualties, including some Americans from a suicide attack outside the country.
And heard about it. Instantly had that just chill go through me. And I started sending messages.
I'm talking to people. I'm calling his girlfriend. I'm saying, have you heard from him? Calling his sisters. Have you heard from him? You know, we're texting. We're saying, please just send us a text. Just whatever. Just let us know that you're okay.
When all the explosions went off, I messaged her and I said, hey, I know you can't say anything, but, just an emoji. Just a bubble. And
then 3:30 in the morning that night, I I got the knock on the door. You know, there's no other reason 2 Marines are standing on your door.
Right away, they told you, we have news about your son, and he just passed away. I just start screaming. I throw myself on the floor.
I pull up the street and I see a white van. And once I saw them, I knew.
It's surreal. Seeing all those flag-draped coffins in the back of a C-17 is something you'll never forget. And it really drives home that, you know, these young men and women gave the ultimate sacrifice.
They had all the families within this large room. The president showed up and that was, it wasn't what I was expecting.
You know, this guy's sitting across from me on that tarmac, and he keeps looking at his watch.
Biden did not.
Yep, never forget this, by the way. Never forget this. You know, it's like, because he has such a busy schedule, by the way. Of course, Joe Biden, we know, the busiest president ever. That's what he was doing. at the service memorial of people who just died, soldiers who just died under your watch.
Biden did not want to be there. I don't know what he wanted to do, but he did not want to be there. He looked at his watch multiple times. I saw it 3 times.
He didn't say anything about Riley. And to this day, he has yet to say those 13 kids' names.
And that makes me so upset because those kids were serving their country. Those kids, they were giving their life for this country. And I always said they were thinking that their commander-in-chief was going to have their back because they were fighting for this country, and that didn't happen.
The administration, the White House, our president has never once mentioned their names, not one of them.
Honestly, I don't feel like Joe Biden cared.
He just had no empathy for us at all.
I do think incompetence played a huge factor in what happened. Bad decision, bad leadership, and it all starts at the top.
Joe Biden should not be leading this country.
There was no point in making that hard deadline August 31st. It was 100% a political stunt.
He let my son down. He let the 13 down. He let the 45 wounded down. He let those 174 civilians down. He let our country down.
And then what it hurts the most is that they could be here.
We fully understand we can't bring back our kids, but there are thousands and thousands more out there that are going to come home the same way if something doesn't change. We're the United States of America. We can do better by our men and women that are risking their lives for this country. We can do better for them than that.
I mean, there you have, like, what else has to be said, right? There's nothing I can say that is more powerful than what the very families of these soldiers have said, okay? So once again, I'm gonna say to Kamala Harris, okay? It is what it is at this point. You totally botched it. You totally botched the way you even handled the optics of not a good look, not a very good look at all. But, you know, bigger picture here, this whole story and the reminder of it, exactly another reason why we need Trump in the White House once again, starting this November, I guess this January. So that said, folks, let me know your thoughts on this in the comment section down below. Be sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe if you are new, and until next time, God bless and peace.